First of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you for spending all day today talking about ways to improve student outcomes. There is nothing more important that we do in the state of Texas than ask ourselves, are enough students reading and doing math on grade level? But given that, I wanted to talk about the situation that occurs when not enough students are reading and doing math on grade level at a particular campus. I'll spend my time with you today talking about 2 points. Interventions under the AITHREF accountability system are constitutionally necessary, and that scores in the AITHREF system give parents critical information that they otherwise would not have. When we think about the Texas Constitution's requirement around public education, we often focus on the language in the Constitution called a general diffusion of knowledge. That's the standard that we're trying to reach in all of our public schools. And what does it actually mean to have a general diffusion of knowledge? Well, we sit down and we talk a lot about school finance. We talk a lot about ways to pay our teachers more. We talk a lot about early education. We spend a lot of time talking about ways that we can strengthen our public school system through a lot of inputs conversations. But a general diffusion of knowledge standard is also about outputs. How many kids can actually read and do math on grade level? And when we have these conversations, one of the things that we have to realize is that in some of our public schools, I would argue that general diffusion of knowledge standard is not being met. Allow me to tell you the story of 3 different districts over the past few years who have had interventions or sanctions as a result of their low student performance. Many of you were on this committee back in 2017 to the conversations that were just occurring when the state intervened in a district called Lamarck ISD. Lamarck ISD was a chronically underperforming school district with radically few students graduating ready for college on the SAT or the ACT. From 2012 to 2016, there were around 512 12th graders that traveled through Lamarck ISD's high school. Only 27 of those students met criterion for college readiness on the SAT or the ACT. If you look at it just in 1 year, 112, imagine this, 112 students at Lamarck ISD crossing the graduation stage, only 3 of them met college readiness standards on the SAT or the ACT, and the state intervened as a result of those ratings. We saw something very similar at 2 other districts. In North Forest ISD, which was incidentally absorbed into Houston ISD in 2012, only 1% of students were college ready on the SAT or the ACT. In Marland ISD, which the state also intervened in, only 2.1% of students were college ready on the SAT or the ACT. 2% of students graduating ready for college is a clear example of a general diffusion of knowledge not being met. The state has an accountability system to ensure that when that constitutional obligation to its students is not being met, the state has a tool to intervene. In the past 2 years, the state has not had the ability to ensure its own constitution is being met because we have not had an accountability system. One of the reasons that Texas 2036 is particularly passionate about this issue is not only because we want the state to have the ability to say to both its taxpayers, its families, and its communities, hey, 2% of students graduating college ready is just not good enough for Texas. We also believe that parents should know whether or not their child's school is doing well or if they're doing poorly. In front of you all will see a 1-pager that I've produced telling you the tale of 2 elementary schools. You're going to hear a smile in my voice when I talk about this first elementary school because I cannot stop thinking about it every time I'm in one of these committee hearings. This is an elementary school located along the border. It has 98.4% of its students economically disadvantaged, 100% Hispanic, 44.5% bilingual. Y'all, it is reading, and students are reading and doing math at this elementary school at 96%. But I gotta tell you, they're struggling in science because only 95% of kids are on grade level in science. Remarkable that this elementary school is producing this kind of results, and yet very few people know about it. But without the accountability system, we would have absolutely no way to understand that there is literally an educational miracle happening in Laredo ISD, and we can go there and we can look at what these districts, these campus officials are doing and find ways to scale them statewide. But I would be remiss if I also did not note that there are other elementary schools in our state that are not performing up to the level of their peers. This is the second elementary school before you. 18% of students at this elementary school are economically disadvantaged. 8.5% are bilingual, yet barely half can read on grade level, and 31% can do math on grade level. This is an elementary school surrounded by a brand new community of $400,000 to $500,000 homes. Do you think the parents of this elementary school would want to know how their elementary school is performing compared to similarly affluent campuses? I do, but without the accountability system, we have no way of knowing that. So thank you for your time.